Hello, my name is Paul Miles and you join me at TU-Automotive Detroit 2016. And today I'm joined by Mark Dipko, Director of Corporate Planning and Strategy with Hyundai. Hi Mark, thanks for joining me. Well, basically, a simple question really. What is Hyundai's strategy going forward with the connectivity?
I think our strategy is really focused on bringing customers convenience, right? It's really all these things that we talk about, all these different technologies. It's easy to get deep down in the weeds and start thinking about all these different things, but in the end, everything has to deliver a convenience to the customer. So we think about the overall experience in the vehicle, how we can make that more convenient, more safe, and really deliver some additional value to the customer using these technologies. And it's really up to us how we put it all together for the customer.
But the vehicle itself, I mean, how is that going to sit in people's lives in the future differently than it sits in now?
I think, there's been two really, well, I guess it's one, but two big companies with Android Auto and CarPlay that have really changed how that experience can be brought into the vehicle. And we've been very aggressive. We were one of the first, if not the first, to have Android Auto and CarPlay. And to me, that really was the big change, because now all of these things that we've been kind of looking at and trying to develop for the vehicle now are already on the smartphone platform, and we can bring that in. So what we're working to do now is integrate the OEM side into those applications so that experience is much more integrated. So in the past, where we would normally have a bunch of engineers trying to develop a Pandora or a Spotify or all these different things, whatever comes up, now those developers can develop it for the smartphone and then port that into the vehicle. So again, it's now our job to figure out what that experience for each one of those is, but it's much easier than to trying to develop each individual app separately.
And what sort of response have you had from customers to this new technology? It's
been amazing. I mean, it's the thing when you tell people about it that literally gets them to rush to the dealership and check it out. As long as I've been, in this position since 2008, if you asked the customer what they wanted, they'd say, "I want my phone in the car." And they didn't mean that literally, but it's kind of that same idea, right? So I think in the past we've always kind of thought about the OEM had their own experience, but in the end, for us, we always think, what's the best customer experience? If that is something that we develop that's unique because it's better, or is that something that they're used to, like a Google Maps, where it's become ubiquitous? Why don't we just give them that experience? So it's really what they've been looking for, and it's now our challenge again to integrate it in a way that's safe and that makes sense for us as far as data sharing and all those types of things.
And looking forward, do you see more partnerships growing within the different suppliers in the industry to make this happen easier and maybe more standardized?
Yeah, and I think that's really the big thing. I'm speaking on a panel a little bit later on, and I think this is really one of the big topics, is everyone kind of thinks in the old model of developing your own little walled garden or your own ecosystem, and really it's all about connectivity now. And one of the biggest benefits of a new product, whether it's a smart home product or app or whatever, is how it works with other things. And it's those interconnectivity, when you go to something, to be able to tie into other applications that make it much more valuable, as opposed to trying to drive someone down a single path. And of course, from our standpoint, those people that are in their single paths and try to make you get on there, it's much harder because it's a more limited market. So we want the ones that are more open and more available to share that information and share that data.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.